What is up, you guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you with Dallas Stewart. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just want to wish all our viewers a Merry Christmas out there.
Yep, Dallas and I would be the first to wish everybody a Merry Christmas out there, and stay safe and enjoy the holidays. Last week, week 15, our Red Zone reactions, we ended up going 10-6. Little better week than the last couple of weeks, but yep, 10-6 on the week. One reason because of Minnesota pulling that miracle comeback, which is now the biggest in NFL history. And now we are on to week 16, the Christmas week picks for the Christmas Eve games, the Christmas Day triple header, and of course the Monday night game after that, and this Thursday night game. But first, we want to start off with our game. Sunday, this Saturday, we had the Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, things are starting to... We played the San Francisco 49ers, and we all knew that we weren't going to beat them. But, you know, at least it wasn't a blowout. The defensive flaws are still there, and we don't know what's going to happen with Jordan Brooks and Al Woods being hurt, too. Going into this game, obviously, dinged up. And the Chiefs barely got out. Took overtime, but barely got out against the Houston Texans. We were very surprised at how close that game was.
Yeah, we were. The Chiefs have shown some vulnerabilities the last few weeks.
Yeah, but it's still Patrick Mahomes, and we all know that offense is going to do a lot of work against, you know, the issues that we have on our defense, which I want to be the main focus point during the offseason, which we all know we got to fix that, you know. I mean, granted, we got to hope for a miracle at the Bears win because obviously the Broncos beat the Arizona Cardinals, and now we sit at the number 3 overall pick in the draft, which is still not bad because even if we don't get Jalen Carter, we can still go after Will Anderson from Alabama, which is another beast pass rusher in the draft. But we'll see how it goes the rest of the way there. We know we got to fix, though, and, you know, going up against Andy Reid's team, go up against Mahomes, you know, it's never going to be easy. Unfortunately, though, got to go with Kansas City. You know, Kansas City wants to stay in that race, but I don't know if they'll get the 1 seed because of Buffalo's record. But I got to take Kansas City against us. Knock on wood, though. But you know, Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City. You know, hard to go against them on this one, even if it's my Seahawks. But hoping for the best, but kind of expect the worst. So I got to go Kansas City.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to go with Kansas City in our last road game of the year. Looks like it's going to be a cold one at Arrowhead. I think a kickoff temperature of 10. Probably the coldest game the Seahawks have played, and probably since the 2015 wild card against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I just hope they can keep it within 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, let's at least hope we can stay competitive. I mean, especially what Houston did, taking them to overtime, and Houston's the worst team in the league, supposed to be going for the number 1 pick. That one thought that should have been a blowout, you know?
Yeah, hopefully they watched that tape and took some notes.
Yeah. But, you know, it's like, I mean, got respect for Mahomes and that offense and Andy Reid, the way he coaches them up, though. So, and we all understand the flaws that we got to fix, but still, let's keep an eye on some of the young guys that have been playing well this season, like Tariq Woolen and Kobe Bryant and, you know, the rookie linemen, Abe Lucas and Cross, and of course, you know, Kenneth Walker. Maybe Kenneth Walker can have a reasonably good game this time around against Kansas City.
This is probably our toughest game of the year.
Yeah, without a doubt. Kansas City's going to sweep the entire NFC West. Let's be real with that, though. All right. Yeah. Now let's get back to the top. Let's start out with the Thursday game in 48 hours from now, or 50 hours from now. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars going to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. The Jacksonville Jaguars pulled the big-time win against the Dallas Cowboys on a Rayshon Jenkins pick 6, man. And Jacksonville, how much was Jacksonville down? Were they down like 17 again?
17.
Yeah, another 17-point comeback for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they did it this time to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know, is this the first time the Jaguars have ever beaten the Cowboys in their existence?
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but Trevor Lawrence, you know, I mean, Zay Jones had a big day, and Trevor Lawrence, you know, granted he had that fumble, but he was able to lead him down, and thankfully they reviewed that one play where the guy, they said he didn't get out of bounds, but it turned out he did get out of bounds, and then freaking Trevor Lawrence, I think, hit Zay Jones again to set up the field goal to tie the game, and they were forced to punt. And then after that, Jenkins with a second interception, the long house call, probably one of our best house calls of the year, aside from the finish in Vegas.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the New York Jets lost to the Detroit Lions. We picked them to get upset by the Detroit Lions. We picked the Jets to get upset by the Lions, and I think the Jets are now in late season collapse form. Their typical late collapse form, as we've been expecting the last decade or so, are pretty much what they've been doing. Especially or maybe they might be going into their collapse like 2008. I mean, they were looking promising, and now they had the collapse. Now they're starting to just collapse. And for that reason, yet alone, if the Detroit Lions can beat the Jets, then the Jacksonville Jaguars can definitely beat the Jets. And hell, even the Seahawks could beat the Jets. I mean, we beat the Lions, I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to go to MetLife and get another win against the New York Jets. I'm taking the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and pick the Jaguars to go into MetLife and beat the Jets. The Jets are fading. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Jaguars, and they're still very much alive in the AFC South.
Yeah, they can. If they win out, they could pretty much win it. Especially if they sweep Tennessee, they got a chance at their division. No one ever thought that we would. I never thought we'd be saying the Jaguars would have a shot to win the South this year.
Yeah, they're one of the most surprising teams.
Yeah. All right, up next we got the Atlanta Falcons going to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The Falcons got swept by the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens lost on Saturday 13-3 to the Cleveland Browns. And with Tyler Huntley still at quarterback, and the Falcons starting Desmond Ridder in his debut game. Both these teams, obviously, the struggles are real for them, man. This is going to be a tough one. This might be a tough one to pick, but knowing the Falcons, Cordero Patterson, all those guys too. I mean, they're pretty much the only playmakers that Desmond Ridder usually has. I mean, and then Baltimore Ravens, I mean, usually the Ravens, I think they got the better defense around, but man, this is a tough one. I'm going to go ahead though, and I'm going to take the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens to bounce back. They still have a shot at winning the AFC North, but they've been riddled by injuries this year, and they've blown a lot. Their defense has blown them a lot of games.
Yeah.
But they're better than the Falcons.
Yeah.
Even with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, even with Huntley, they should still be better than the Falcons. But that will be an interesting game to keep an eye on Christmas Eve. Start out Christmas Eve. All right. Up next, the next Christmas Eve game, other than ours that we just did earlier, decided to do first. We got the Detroit Lions going to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Lions win the MetLife Stadium and upset the Jets with a crazy 4th and inches play-action play to the tight end, and he took it 51 yards for what would be the game-winning touchdown because Zuerlein was nowhere near close on that game-tying field goal. And the Lions went into MetLife and upset and beat the Jets like we predicted. Meanwhile, the Carolina Panthers lost to Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. And, man, I got to go ahead, though. And Lions, they're fighting for a chance of maybe getting to that wild card spot. And like I said, Dan Campbell's still coaching tough. Lions still playing tough. Lions racking up wins. And guess what? I got Lions racking up another win. Give me Detroit to go into Carolina and beat the Panthers. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions to make it 7 out of 8 and get above 500 and stay right in that wild card race in the NFC. They are, them and Cincinnati are the 2 hottest teams in the league right now. And Carolina had a major letdown after that road win up here.
Yeah. To run into T.J. Watt and that defense and just couldn't get anything going against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Man, and I thought they had a real chance to beat Pittsburgh, too. That didn't turn out to be the case. They fell for a trap.
Yeah, they did.
All right. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Saints just completed the sweep of the Atlanta Falcons, and the Browns got that 13-3 win last Saturday over the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to go ahead, though, and I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns to take care of business at home against the Saints. I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Browns to get another win and keep their slim wild card hopes alive. But, they're still mathematically in it. and I believe they'll stay in it at least for one more week.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Houston Texans taking on the Tennessee Titans. The Texans, I was surprised that they were able to take Kansas City into overtime the way that they did. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, close battle with the Los Angeles Chargers, tied 7-7 until the fourth quarter. Granted, they were able to tie it at 14, but gave the Chargers too much time to drive it, and Dicker, the kicker, kicked it through the middle to win it for the LA Chargers 17-14. You know, it's like, for the Tennessee Titans, the fact that they're still in front in the AFC South, you know, the Titans are just, they're falling apart.
Yeah, they're the benefit of a really bad division.
Yeah, and they got the Texans, who I was quite surprised that they were able to hang in there with freaking Kansas City. And, you know, the Texans did beat the Titans last year, too.
Yeah, in Nashville.
Yeah.
And which is where this game will be.
This game might have
the upsets of the year last year.
Yeah, this game could possibly have trap game potential.
It could, and I think didn't they play each other in like week 7, and the Titans only won like 17-10.
I think, yeah, with Malik Willis. But this time around, they got Tannehill, they got Henry. I mean, all of the Titans touchdowns the last time around were Derrick Henry touchdowns. I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans, but I feel like that this game may have trap game potential.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans to break their 4-game losing streak and maintain their lead in the AFC South. If they lose this game, they're in some real trouble of not even making the playoffs.
And pretty much Texans getting close to clinching the number 1 overall pick soon.
Yeah, the Texans, to their credit, they played really hard for a 1-win team.
Yeah, they did. All right. Up next, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. The Bengals came back from down 17-3 at halftime to take down Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, forced some turnovers, and Burrow and Chase and the Bengals did the rest. Their offense did the rest. Meanwhile, the Patriots, I got to say, what the heck? Were Ramondre Stevenson and Jacoby Myers thinking the game was tied? You should have just gone to overtime. You try to get too fancy and too greedy with it and throw it to Chandler Jones, and Chandler Jones just took it to the house for the win. What the heck were they thinking on that? That was still a heck of a reaction, though. Probably the best reaction of the day of our Red Zone. But what the heck were they thinking on that?
No, it's a lack of awareness, and it really came back and bit them.
Yeah, they should have just played for overtime. They could have beaten the Raiders in overtime. Just saying, you know what I mean? But what the heck were they thinking? But just because of that, I got the Bengals going in and just shredding them. Give me Cincinnati.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati. They are rolling right now, and I think that loss the Patriots had last week, it's just going to have a carryover effect.
Yeah, there's no way the Bengals start out slow this time.
That was a really costly loss for New England.
Yep. Whew, all right, up next we got the New York Giants going to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis to take on the Minnesota Vikings. The New York Giants took down the Washington Commanders, and the Vikings pulled the biggest comeback in NFL history, down 33-0. I did not think they were going to come back from that, but man, what a heck of a comeback by this Minnesota team. They clinched the NFC North in dramatic fashion, dramatic style, I should say.
And they stayed in the 2 seed in the NFC.
Wow, I just remember
with that win.
Yeah, I was at round 1. Thankfully, I stayed around there and watched the finish of that game in the bar, and they were able to get in the field goal range, and Greg Joseph just kicked it right through the middle to give the Vikings the division and that epic comeback. Matt Ryan's been on the wrong side of 3 of the biggest comebacks and craziest comebacks in NFL history. Tough luck for Matt Ryan.
When I saw that comeback, I thought of the old Yogi Berra quote, "It ain't over till it's over."
Yep. That's why we weren't so sure about some of those check marks we were putting in back on Sunday during the Red Zone stream. But you know something? I'm taking the Vikings to get another win and keep fighting to hold that 2 seed at least. Give me the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Vikings. I think they carry a lot of momentum into this matchup against the Giants with a win like that.
Yeah.
That's a win that can really spark you as a team.
It really is. Whew. All right. Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills going to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears. The Buffalo Bills, crazy snow game, the last slate of the Saturday game of the Saturday slate last weekend. Snowy Buffalo taking on the Dolphins, battled with them, tied it up at 32, went on that crazy drive and set up Tyler Bass, which they cleared the snow for him. Well, the Bills players did their best to, and then with 2 seconds left, Bass got an easy chip shot range, and he just blasted it through to give the Bills the win and potentially the AFC East. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears, they were in a tight battle with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they really could have had a chance to win, but they just collapsed at the end and just wasn't up to take down Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles, which Jalen Hurts hurt his shoulder in that game from what I'm hearing too.
Yeah, and there's rumors that he could miss the Cowboys game.
And I saw something when I was checking links saying that he's looking like his shoulder's fine and he's probably going to play. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he plays against the Cowboys. But Buffalo Bills, though, like I said, they may have just locked up the AFC East, and I think if they win this week, I think they lock up the one seed. And I think that
we'll see. I think it might still come down to like week 18 because both them and Kansas City still have the same record.
Yeah, but still, it sucks. It's unfortunate that the Bears get this team because we need the Bears to at least win one more game or so to help us out with our draft pick. Now they sit on the number 2 pick with a chance to get Jalen Carter because, let's be real, the Pottsville curse just came out and just murdered Arizona against the Denver Broncos. I already claimed Kyler Murray's soul with that torn ACL, and then it claimed Colt McCoy when Colt McCoy got the concussion for the Cardinals, that is. But we're on Bills-Bears, and I'm taking Buffalo to just keep it rolling. Give me the Bills. The Bears just don't stand a chance.
Yeah, give me the Bears, or give me the Bills big.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills, yep. All right, up next, we got the Washington Commanders taking on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Back-to-back L's for Washington.
Yep. All right, and up next, Eagles versus Cowboys. As we were talking about, the Eagles getting that close win against the Chicago Bears, 25-20. Jalen Hurts, 3 touchdowns on quarterback sneaks, which is hard. Like Boomer said on primetime, it's just hard to stop that Jalen Hurts quarterback sneak. And the Dallas Cowboys, they dropped that game to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I could not believe they blew that lead and lost. And I think this is the first time ever the Cowboys in history have lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because I think that might have been the first Jaguars win over the Dallas Cowboys in the history of their existence. But man, all they have to do is keep running that ball with Zeke, and then like Rex Ryan said on the Sunday NFL Countdown, apparently it didn't work. Jags defense came up and made some big-time stops and got the big-time pick 6 to win the game in overtime to put the 40 burger on them, 40-34 to finish it out. But man, Jalen Hurts, I think he's going to play, to be honest with you. I think he's looking to play. If not, it would be Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, they only need one more win to lock up the 1 seed.
Yeah, and I think Hurts is going to play. It's still going to. I think it's going to be a tough game. And though, granted, I know the Eagles ran all over him. Granted, the Cowboys had Cooper Rush the last time these guys played.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles to complete the sweep.
I'm going to take the Eagles to complete the sweep and lock up the 1 seed so then they can kind of rest their guys the last few weeks.
Yeah. All right, up next, the last Christmas Eve game, the night game, which will be on NFL Network. And crazy enough that it's these 2 teams. We got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this week, on the 23rd Friday, will be the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. The 50th anniversary. And so, oddly enough, on the 50th anniversary, it so ends up being Raiders and Steelers in Pittsburgh. Who would have thought of that? The schedule makers knew something, and definitely they knew they had to make it that for that week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Raiders, though, got that crazy Sin City miracle against the New England Patriots last week, and the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. And, that was shocking. That I didn't think Carolina would freaking fall for that trip. But the Raiders, they got a Sin City miracle. We're just going to call that final sequence of events, we're just going to call that the Sin City miracle because it happened in Vegas. Not everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders to go into Pittsburgh and get a win to spoil the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders to carry that momentum and keep their also slim wild card hopes alive and pretty much put the nail in the coffin to the Steelers season.
Yeah. All right, up next we got the Christmas Day slate of games. First game, we got the Green Bay Packers going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Packers took care of their business last night against the Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins. Crazy battle, but they could not hold back Josh Allen and the Bills, and Tyler Bass kicked that easy chip shot right up the middle to beat the Miami Dolphins. And, you know, Dolphins, though, they still got a good chance of being that wild card, though. But it looks like it's going to be Buffalo that will be taking the division again, and most likely the number 1 seed in the AFC playoff race. So it's looking like the road to Super Bowl 57 is going to go through Buffalo. But this game-wise, I'm going to take the Dolphins to beat the Packers. Give me Miami to bounce back.
Yeah, give me Miami to end their 3-game losing streak. They really cannot afford to lose another one.
Yeah. All right, up next, Christmas Day game number 2. The Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Arizona, you have one job, and I asked the Pottsville Curse nicely to give you all a break, but nope, Pottsville Curse just had to come in and keep killing you some more. It already claimed Kyler Murray's soul, like I mentioned earlier, but now it gave Colt McCoy a concussion, which you guys had to put Trace McSorley in. And you guys, I mean, your defense had like 7 sacks, and yet you still couldn't beat Brett Rippon. Yeah, the Cardinals are pretty much dead. Let's be real. The Cardinals are dead.
Yeah, they've mailed it in at this point.
Yeah, Pottsville Curse claims them again. But the Rams obviously going through injuries, and now they just got eliminated from playoff contention, so the defending champs have officially been dethroned.
First defending Super Bowl champions to not make the playoffs since the 2016 Broncos.
Yeah, and before that it was the 2013 Ravens.
Yep. Man.
But you know something? I don't know who's all going to be playing. I mean, is Aaron Donald still out for the Rams, and obviously Cooper Kupp's still out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bobby Wagner, he's going to want. Bobby Wagner's going to want to sack Russell Wilson this week. If Wilson's back. Yeah, but
we got a second game of the triple header, and I'm surprised this turned into a Christmas dumpster ball.
A Christmas dumpster bowl, a Christmas toilet bowl. But I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams to go get a win. The Rams, you have to win this game. Please help us out more and keep that draft pick at least at number 3 for the time being, unless the Bears can, by some miracle, win another game in these next couple of weeks of the 5 weeks of the season. But I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams, I guess, but I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
But we really need their help this week.
Knock on wood, though.
Yeah, knock on wood.
This is the only time that we need the Rams to win. This is the one time I need the Rams to win. The Cardinals pretty much failed, so they're pretty much dead, and, the Cardinals deserve to lose out. They're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
All right, and speaking of Cardinals, they're next, taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who still hold on to first place because they still got a little help even from New Orleans and the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout the division, and still hold on to first place in the NFC South. And for that, like I said, Cardinals are dead. Pottsville Curse killed them, and it's going to kill them even more with Tom Brady in town. Give me the Buccaneers.
Yeah, give me the Buccaneers. Man, and the nightcap is a toilet bowl on Christmas.
Yeah, it pretty much is. That's the nightcap game. Buccaneers-Cardinals. Tom Brady's going to freaking shred them. And so is Rachaad White and the rest of their running game and the rest of their weapons. The Cardinals are dead. They're pretty much dead. Buried 6 feet underground early. They're done. They're just dead. Sorry, Cardinal fans, but y'all are just dead. You're just dead. Just saying. Had to be savage on that one. Pottsville Curse killed him again.
And last season's been a nightmare.
And last but not least, we got the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts pulling the biggest choke job in their history, giving up a 33-0 lead at halftime to the Minnesota Vikings. And Matt Ryan, he's just been on the worst side of giving up some of the craziest comebacks in NFL history, including the obviously 28. You thought 28-3 was going to be it with the Falcons. Nah, 33-0, man. Just tough. That's a tough life for Matt Ryan to have to live with that now.
Yeah.
And for the Los Angeles Chargers, like we mentioned, tough battle, 7-7 all the way to the fourth quarter, and Dicker, the kicker, won it for them against the Titans. Give me the Los Angeles Chargers just to stay in that wild card race in the AFC, and I think the Chargers are gonna make that push though. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, give me the Chargers. They have a really easy final schedule, and they very well should win out and get one of those wild card spots. Why are the Colts on prime time again?
Just take them off, man. That's what I don't understand.
Man, is this like the third time in a month? Come on, why are they on prime time?
Yeah, but hey, at least they beat at least they beat Denver on one of their primetime games, right?
Yeah, that they did.
Yep, and there you have it for our Week 16 picks. We got the Jaguars over the Jets, the Ravens over the Falcons, Lions over the Panthers, the Chiefs over the Seahawks, knock on wood. Which I think, obviously the Chiefs are going to beat us though, mostly, but knock on wood. Browns over Saints, Titans over Texans, Bengals over Patriots, Vikings over Giants, Bills over Bears, 49ers over Commanders, Eagles over Cowboys, Raiders over Steelers, Dolphins over Packers, Rams over Broncos, Buccaneers over Cardinals, and Chargers over Colts. And there you have it for our Week 16 picks. Drop your picks in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. And Merry Christmas, everybody. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.